Jeff Kiss. I'm with the Canyon Development Group, and on behalf of the organization, we have our other partners here as well, Scott Zimmerman and Alex Kiss, and I think Lou is on his way, but we don't know at this point. Wanted to say to everybody here from our property management arm, AGPM, welcome as well, because they are a key affiliate to Banyan Development Group. And what you see out here in terms of a collaborative effort to make this a brand new 156 unit affordable housing development with long-term affordability. Today, we have some speakers lined up, and I want to just mention them briefly, and then I'll jump back into a little bit of context about the development. But today we have Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings here to speak, as well as Commissioner Michael Scott and Ron Lieberman from the Florida Housing Finance Corporation. We're hoping to have Brooke Salmons as well, who is our nonprofit partner with the Treehouse Foundation, but so far she hasn't made it, but we'll hopefully see her later. Just wanted to also mention that we have members of the legislative side, not only from Congressman Frost's office, but also from State Senator LaVon Bracy Davis and Rashawn Young, representative from this district. We've been very fortunate in terms of developing units, this development is Banyan Development Group's 15th completed one since our inception back in 2016. And one of the things I wanted to mention, provide a little context, is we put this site under contract 10 years ago. And we've been working diligently to try to get it financed and built over that period of time. So this has been a long journey for our company and for all our development team. A shout out to Kennedy, our GC, and also our architect, FK, who have been with us for this whole process. The thing that's interesting about this site, and I think it's something that we've seen more so in other parts of Florida, but in urban areas, these infill sites are very valuable for affordable housing because they're basically providing services and community facilities and transportation that are in close proximity to the residents. And so this site, again, was one that we spent a lot of time on working with the county going back to 2016 with zoning and environmental impact reviews. And so we've put a lot of time here trying to make this the best possible development. And from what you can see from this community, I think hopefully you agree it turned out very well. I do think that it's important to bring in our speakers sooner rather than later today, given the heat. And I would like to say our first speaker is probably somebody who doesn't need a formal introduction. He's been elected twice as Orange County Mayor. Before that, he was very visible as in law enforcement, and he always kind of clued into the passions of the residents of Orange County. And affordable housing is no exception. But I'd like to say, before we move on to the mayor, we'll try to hear as well from Commissioner Scott and also Ron Lieberman in a couple minutes. Mayor?
All right, good morning. It is a great day in Orange County, isn't it? Whenever we can do a ribbon cutting. I'm excited. I hope you're very excited about being here today. I am joined by my colleague from the board, Commissioner Scott, but we have our entire Board of County Commission that is passionate about the work that we do to make certain that we create affordable housing units within our county for our families. We made that commitment going back to 2019. Shortly after taking office in 2018, there was something identified that was somewhat startling to me. At that time, we had 110,000 of our residents here in Orange County who were chronically rent stressed. That means that they were spending more than 30% of their income just on rent payments. And that has worsened to this day. We have an affordability crisis going on in the state of Florida. And housing and rent payments is something that is significant to our families. And so what we're trying to do here in Orange County is work through public-private partnerships to make certain that we are able to offer a product that is below market. And by working with the Barnett Development Group on this project, we've been able to deliver on that promise to our citizens. I'll talk more about how much money Orange County taxpayers are putting into this project. But Barnett is leading the way in this effort, not just with this project, but other projects throughout our region and throughout the state of Florida. And so we're going to continue to look for those opportunities to work with you as we make affordable housing a priority for our various communities. This unit here, here at Barnett Villas, this is a 156-unit complex. What that means is that there will be several hundred people who will live on site. I'm told that today, out of the 156 units, they are 100% occupied. And here we are doing this ribbon cutting now. That just speaks to the demand, the need for further additional affordable housing within our community. And so we're committed to doing that. When we talk about how are we going to do it, in 2019, I impaneled a group of volunteer citizens from all walks of life to come up with a plan of action of how we would lower the cost of housing within our community and make it available. We called it a Housing for All Task Force. And those members presented recommendations to the Board of County Commission with a blueprint of how we can move forward. And central to that was the creation of a locally controlled housing trust fund. And so Orange County made a commitment to take from our general ad valorem taxes over time $160 million in a 10-year period of time at a minimum to address this issue. Now, after we made that decision in 2019, and we were well on our way to helping to stimulate the building of workforce housing, one of the things that happened was that in addition to that, we had the private sector that stepped up to the table to assist us in this process. And we have some other units that are going to come online in just a few months that are being championed by Universal Resorts of Florida, as well as Walt Disney World. We're partnering with the private sector to build affordable housing units. And so also, our taxpayers in Orange County made a decision just a couple of years or so ago that by referendum, we put on the ballot that rather than leave it up to the whim of future boards of county commission whether or not we will have a housing trust fund, our taxpayers overwhelmingly by ballot vote, said that in perpetuity, Orange County must continue to have a housing trust fund. Now, the boards of county commission will have the opportunity to decide how much money they put into it, but they must have a housing trust fund. This way, we don't have to depend on the state of Florida housing trust fund. We can use our own dollars to help stimulate it. We do hope to get money from the state of Florida through this process, through the state's housing trust fund, and we'll work with the Florida Housing Finance Corporation in that regard and others to make sure that it's a reality. So what did we put in? Let me just kind of go over the numbers with you. The affordable housing project here was awarded $6.8 million in gap financing from the Housing Trust Fund and an additional $2.5 million from Orange County's American Rescue Plan Act federal funding. In total, this means that we put in $9.3 million to help stimulate this building of this development. We're going to do this, as I said, across all of Orange County. And in addition to that, here at Barnett Villas, we will have access, our residents will have access to literacy training, GED preparation, computer skills, employment assistance, financial management, and planning for home ownership through partnerships with outside agencies. We not only want our persons to have a place where they can rent, but ultimately the goal is getting them in a place where they can own and pursue the American dream. I commend the development company for ensuring the project achieves gold level certification under the Florida Green Building Coalition's designation program within 1 year of issuance of a certificate of occupancy. This type of certification reflects energy efficiency and translates into cost savings for residents. As I wrap up my remarks, I want to express my gratitude again to the Banyan Group and the numerous partners who have made this project possible in our community. I'd also like to thank our housing manager, Mitchell Glasser. Mitchell, wave your hand, you and your team. Internally, they're the ones that make the magic happen for us throughout the county, and again, we do appreciate the work that they're doing. And now it is my esteemed honor to now introduce the district commissioner for this district, Commissioner Michael Scott, who is also a vociferous advocate for making certain that we are taking care of our families here in this community. Commissioner Scott.
Good morning, and thank you, Mayor. Barnett Villas is open. So, you see one of my neighbors kind of waving at me. So, I have probably about 10 folks who I've contacted over the years, whether as a mentor, as a tutor, or just as a neighbor who have moved here. And their experiences prior to living here is like night and day. In Orange County, we have some not so great landlords. And so the things that I've heard about here is that they're treated with respect. They're treated more like neighbors and like family members and not like just tenants. And so job well done. Job well done, and thank you. Because it starts and ends at home. It starts and ends at home. And so I'm so grateful to the development company, to all of you who understand that while there is a role to play in providing housing, there's also a role to play in being a good neighbor and just helping people through their challenges. And so I'm grateful to you all for the investment in our community. I know you all have another property just up the road for some of our seniors, and so we look forward to working with you in the future. And like I said, just thank you for giving an opportunity for those that don't have one. Thank you. Next, I'm going to bring up Ron Lieberman, chairman of Florida Housing Finance Corporation. He's the person when we call for extra money when we don't have enough money. So, Ron, come on up. Thank you.
Wow, another opening. This is the second one I've had this month and several already this year, but it's not enough. According to the University of Florida Schimberg Center, as much as we do, we can never get caught up. Last year, Florida Housing funded $1.9 billion of projects, which related to over $15 billion of economic opportunity throughout the state. But as a resident of Orange County and Orlando, I'm always grateful to see him here. And as far as the developers are concerned, it's almost, hello. It's very difficult to make these projects work. It takes several levels of financing, including local support, and that's very important. To get funded from Florida Housing Finance, you need a great deal of local support. And thanks to Orange County and the city of Orlando, we've gotten a whole lot of support, and that makes these projects work. Unfortunately, when we approve these projects, it takes 2 or 3 or more years to put them in service. So thanks to the development community, thanks to the county, and let's keep funding more projects. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Michael. Thank you, Jerry. Fantastic talking here. We have one more speaker planned for this Brooke Salmon. She's on her way, but while we have a couple of minutes to take a little bit of a break, if those attack me again, I'm going to get so one thing I think it's important to mention is we are planning a tour for those who are interested. I know everybody's got a busy schedule, but we do have a couple of residents who have opened up their apartment homes to us for some tours after we're done here. We're also, I know everybody's thirsty and probably a little hungry, and we have refreshments available back in the gathering room straight through here. So I think those are things we want you guys to partake in, please, and share. Obviously, whatever's left over, hopefully the residents will come down and finish off the rest. But we do have one other person who was able to, I guess you could say, offer herself for interviews that will hopefully be on this video. Her name is Carmen Castro. She's a healthcare worker, and she's one of the people who have moved into this development in the last couple of months. And again, what we do here is really for the residents. That's what keeps us going, not just with the development company, but AGPM, our green property manager, who makes some of these communities true communities and something that will last for a long time. So we do take it, I guess you could say, take care to make sure these buildings, these grounds, everything's taken care of. And that's part of our public-private partnership that we've developed not only with Orange County, but with other communities as well, and certainly with Florida Housing. They've done, Florida Housing, as Ron said, they've been very innovative in how they use their monies. And some of the monies that find their way to new communities like Barnett Villas, I said, still depend on local involvement. And I can't tell you enough. I guess I'm dating myself now, but one of the things I think it's important is I've had the opportunity in my lifetime to work for county government, for state government, and also in the private sector. And what people don't give credit enough to today, in today's world, especially in the legislature, is the role local governments play in supporting affordable housing. A number of people who, want to take shots at local government, make life miserable in terms of property tax reduction and things like that, I don't agree with personally. But I think one of the important things to mention is that when you're building anything, it starts with the local government, either with planning or zoning or impact fees, and it ends with them because you've got to get certificates of occupancy before you can move residents in. We had several delays with Barnett Villas over the last 6 months, and we had hoped to have this grand opening a while ago. But due to challenges we ran into in trying to coordinate utilities and also get people lined up to move in, we had to delay the residents moving in many times. And I think it's a testament to not just Banyan, but also to our property management company, AGPM. And one of the people who is here today, Alex, she's going to be handling, you can wave again, she's going to be handling the tours of the 2 units across the way in Building 3. So I think it's important when you take a look at these homes, look at them as someplace you'd like to live and someplace where you have good tenants who are going to be here a while and who care about their community. And I think that's what we're trying to build here, is something that improves not only their lives, but also the lives of Central Floridians and the county in general. I've probably talked enough at this point in time. I don't know if Carmen Castro is here. She might have had to go on to work. But again, she will be part of the interviews that will be on this video, and hopefully we'll have that video back in the next couple of months so we can share that with the county. Are there any questions before I kind of turn this over to Alex and let her set up the discussion about the tour? Do you want to come up and say anything, Alex? Well, okay, that's fine. So let's do that right now. Before this attacks anybody else, we're going to cut the ribbon. Do we need to move this podium? Okay, great. Mayor, I'd like you to move the center. I think we're missing some people.
Hi, Carmen.
Yeah, sure. All right, you want to pose for a photo first? Ready, 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm gonna do the countdown. Ready, 1, 2, 3. All right.